First, the Pinarayi Vijayan government ordered relaxations for people to shop before Bakrid. Then they announced relaxations for the celebrations of Onam. And now they're watching helplessly as the COVID crisis in Kerala is on a huge runaway spate with a huge spike in COVID cases all over the state. Over 31,000 fresh infections have been recorded in the last 24 hours, accounting for just around 68% of India's daily total. The state is now contributing to the big march towards that third wave. It's led to a lot of politics, but it's also led to a lot of questions about the so-called Kerala model. Take a look.
Kerala is staring at a COVID emergency. A scary surge in recent days has been contributing to over 50% of India's COVID infections. On Wednesday, Kerala broke its own record after it reported over 31,000 fresh cases in just a single day. This was the highest single-day spike in the last 3 months. That's not the only scary part. COVID positivity ratio in the state also inched closer to the 20% mark. In the last 7 days, India's positivity rate has been hovering around 1.8%, while Kerala saw a positivity rate of 16.6%. The BJP has blamed the Pinarayi Vijayan government for the surge.
Kerala government has been selective in allowing congregations for Bakrid and enforcing some sort of lockdown as far as other festivals are concerned. The kind of cases that are coming from Kerala point out to the overall mismanagement, skewed priorities, not enforcing the protocols adequately, and Kerala government must be questioned on it.
Government of Kerala said that we are introducing the home quarantine, which has miserably failed. So with such a good health infrastructure, if the government is not able to perform, it shows that the government doesn't have the capacity, government is ineffective.
The Congress also pinned the blame on the state, with Shashi Tharoor leading a roadside ICU protest in Thiruvananthapuram.
But Kerala is in the ICU, and before it gets carried away in an ambulance, the government needs to take better action. That was led by the Indian Youth Congress, which, as we all know, was in the forefront of relief measures on COVID during the second wave.
The Kerala government has rejected the charges.
In many states run by the BJP, when the government is bent to hide the actual number and minimize the tests, the government of Kerala is duty bound and keen to see that maximum number of people are tested and the reporting should be 100% perfect. That is the Kerala model.
Data shows on July 21st, following the Bakrid festivities, within a week, cases rose sharply. Similarly, in August, soon after the relaxation for Onam, the state once again saw a significant rise in its COVID tally.
If we can increase the total number of vaccination in the coming days, and if the hospital admissions are under control, this surge also can be managed easily.
Once hailed for its containment efforts, the Kerala model is now facing intense scrutiny. With Gopi Krishnan Unnithan in Thiruvananthapuram, Bureau Report, India Today.
And here's what the Health Ministry has just said, expressing concern over the spiraling situation in Kerala. Right before we began this broadcast, here's what the Union Health Secretary said.
1 लाख से अधिक एक्टिव केस केरल में हैं और 10,000 से 1 लाख के बीच के जो एक्टिव केसेस हैं वो 4 राज्यों में हैं, महाराष्ट्र, कर्नाटक, तमिलनाडु और आंध्र प्रदेश। और अगर हम देश के एक्टिव केसेस में इनका योगदान देखें तो केरल 51%, महाराष्ट्र 16% और बाकी 3 राज्य 5% से लेकर 4% तक उनका योगदान है। We are still in the midst of the second surge of COVID-19 in our country. The second surge has not concluded. It is not over. Therefore, we have to maintain all necessary precautions, particularly in the light of our experience that after every festival we see a spike, and therefore the coming month of September and October are crucial for us because we would be celebrating a few festivals. So therefore festivals have to be celebrated with COVID appropriate behavior.
So Kerala used to account for over 60%. It's down to 51%, but that's still a sizable percentage of the daily COVID cases in India. Joining us live from Thiruvananthapuram this evening on 5 Live is Veena George, the Health Minister of Kerala. Ms. George, thank you for speaking to India today. The first question, you've heard what the Health Ministry has said. Do you think the relaxations that were allowed by your government during Bakrid and then Onam has led to this surge, and maybe those relaxations shouldn't have been given?
See, we are closely monitoring the situation, and our government of Kerala is dedicated to protect the lives and also the livelihood. When you look at the fatality rate, we have one of the lowest fatality rates in the country, around 0.5%. So, and also it has been 1 year and 8 months since the first case was reported in the country. It was reported in Kerala. The first case was reported here. So we cannot keep the people all the time shut down in their houses. So we have to protect their lives and also their livelihood. But the most important thing is that we are asking our people to have COVID-appropriate behaviors. You can see everywhere in Kerala.
But clearly that hasn't worked.
Mask, they are observing social distancing, and we are not allowing social gatherings with large crowds. Only less than 20 people are allowed in wedding ceremonies and also in funerals. And also, we do have DCCs, domiciliary care centers, to avoid home clustering. And we are closely monitoring the situation. And since the vulnerability or the susceptibility of the state is high, again, it shows the success of the protective measures so far we have adopted. So, since the vulnerability or susceptibility is high, more chances are there. And also, the second wave started by the middle of April. And we have always tried to drag the wave to delay the peak. So we had a peak on May 12th.
Not enough though.
On a single day on May 12th, we had more than 43,500 cases. And then if you look at the number of cases.
But Ms. George, you talk about having a low fatality rate, but Kerala is one of the few states where there is a fatality rate at all. You know, a large number of those deaths are happening in Kerala. So is that really even a defense? The question I'm asking you is, ma'am, do you think, you know, in retrospect, it was a mistake to prioritize festivals? Yes, you can argue that you can't keep people locked up. But when you have an emergency situation and spiraling numbers, in retrospect, do you think it was a mistake to actually allow people to come out for Bakrid and Onam?
No, see, we didn't have any of celebrations here.
But you allowed people to come out. These were relaxations in the lockdown.
But no official gatherings, no celebrations, no outside celebrations were allowed. Nothing was there because during these Onam holidays, we used to have huge gatherings with lots of fun and all. But this time we didn't have anything.
But there is a spike after both these festivals.
Also, we didn't have lunch together or anything. We just put some flowers like Atta Pokalam, and we didn't have anything. We didn't have anything else. So, such celebrations were allowed. Only thing was that the shops were open. But only those people who was vaccinated and who have undergone the RT-PCR tests were allowed, and home deliveries were encouraged. And again, we are closely monitoring the situation.
But madam, that doesn't seem to be borne out from the numbers you're seeing. The numbers are only climbing in Kerala. It seems like the Kerala government is looking for facts that support its decision to actually institute those relaxations, which cannot be supported anymore. The opposition also is questioning your government, saying that it has failed to implement those norms properly. And please remember, ma'am, you're speaking to a channel which has called out the Kumbh Mela, which has called out the Ramzan crowds, which has called out church crowds. We do not discriminate. We call out all manner of COVID norms being violated, no matter what the religion. And that's the reason why we're asking you this question.
So how can you analyze, how do you analyze, on what all parameters you can analyze the situation, how a government or a state has dealt
because you ordered those
with
relaxations.
the pandemic. You look at the fatality rate. The fatality rate of Kerala is the lowest in the country. It's 0.5. Again, you look at the undercounting factor. It's 6. It's again the lowest in the country. You look at the tests per million we do, it's the highest in the country. Why? We can say, we are not doing tests, we'll be going on like this, 30,000 tests. We can go like that. But what we are doing is that we are doing maximum tests. Why? We want to identify every single case. More than 50% of our people are unaffected, which again shows the success of our protective measures.
Thankfully for the moment.
The fatality rate, it is the lowest. The tests per million, it's the highest. We cannot find a single case in Kerala where the patient died without getting oxygen or without getting a hospital bed or without getting a ICU facility or a ventilator.
Well, I certainly hope that the situation doesn't deteriorate from here on. The trend certainly suggests that the numbers will go higher. Let's never for a moment forget that this is a situation that involves us all as a country, and we pray for Kerala and we hope the government will take better decisions in trying to control the situation. Health infrastructure in the state has performed well. Many of the things that Ms. Veena George, the health minister, has said are true, but some things are certainly indefensible, so they cannot be defended, including decisions for relaxations right before festivals. The latest spike in daily infections in Kerala comes after the Eid and then the Onam celebrations. The state reported over 31,000 cases in the last 24 hours. This is the highest that Kerala has witnessed since May this year. The positivity rate of Kerala has touched a frightening 19%. Now let's look at India's positivity rate and then compare it to Kerala's positivity rate. Between August 19th and August 25th, the country's overall positivity rate was 2.22%. But Kerala's positivity rate between the same time period has spiked to 19%, which roughly translates to 19 people testing positive for every 100 people who undergo a test. And that's in the state alone at this time. Now, why is the surge in Kerala worrying for the rest of the country? The state has been given a lot of relaxations in COVID restrictions during festivals. It confirms that there is very low community immunity rate in the state. It shows that super spreader events are still possibly going on. They're being allowed to happen. It establishes that flouting of COVID norms is definitely happening. It shows that the government's COVID strategy in some way or the other is not working, especially when you have something called the Kerala model and you're being praised for it. These things fly in the face of all those facts. But the faith versus COVID fight is not only happening in Kerala.